And I came up with an analogy that some of you may think is crazy, but others of you, you're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I totally see it. Tom Brady is the best quarterback in the history of the NFL. Now, some of you may be out there, diehard Colts or Broncos fans. You might be arguing Peyton Manning. Some of you are Kansas City Chiefs fans. You may argue for Patrick Mahomes. But I want to take you back to the inception of Tom Brady for a moment. In 2002, Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, and they beat Rush's heavily favored, at the time still in St. Louis, Rams football team. Some of you are going to remember that game. And a lot of people said, how in the world did this happen? How did Kurt Warner, NFL MVP, probably the best quarterback in the NFL at that point in time, greatest show on turf, best offense, the Rams were a huge favorite in that game to win their second straight Super Bowl, or nearly the second straight Super Bowl. And instead they lost. And everybody said, how in the world did this happen? How did the Rams, who were so good, Kurt Warner throws for over 300 yards? I was actually, during the commercial break, I was looking up the stats on this game because I thought it was interesting. And Kurt Warner threw for over 300 yards. Tom Brady didn't do hardly anything. Kurt Warner, 365 yards passing. Tom Brady, 145 yards passing. There's a big difference in numbers. People said, man, this is a huge upset. I don't know how this happened. How did Tom Brady beat Kurt Warner? Well, then come to find out, actually, Tom Brady's one of the greatest of all time. And he would go on and he would win 6 more Super Bowls, play in 10 total Super Bowls. And in retrospect, you go back and you look at that 2002 Super Bowl and you say, boy, that was just the first sign that this guy was built different. And over time, everybody came to see, oh, yeah, Kurt Warner, he's a good quarterback, but Brady was different. I would submit to you that the 2016 election, a lot of people didn't get yet that Donald Trump was built different. And so in the immediate aftermath, they're saying, boy, Hillary Clinton, she's Kurt Warner, she's the Rams, she's the favorite. She should never lose this election. And the original sin of all of Russiagate was a disbelief in Donald Trump's innate political gifts. Think about where we are right now. I loved watching Tom Brady when he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because I knew we didn't have a lot of time left with Tom Brady, and I just wanted to celebrate his career. I feel that way about Trump right now. People are climbing all over, attacking him and everything else, but the reason Russiagate happened was because Democrats hadn't seen yet that Trump was built different. I think the best president since Reagan on the Republican side. Generational political talent. And so, much like when Brady won that first Super Bowl, they didn't know what was to come. They went back and they said something had to happen other than just Trump being the politician that he is, the political talent that he is. They thought that he was just a total schmuck. And so they said something had to happen here. There's no way that Hillary really lost this election to that guy. There's no way Kurt Warner just lost the Super Bowl to Tom Brady. And now, as we sit in 2025, I am telling you, we are rapidly accelerating towards, instead of being Hitler, soon you're going to start hear Democrats acknowledge Trump is actually the greatest political talent of the Republican Party in 2 generations. They're going to pivot really quickly from the guy's Hitler to they're never going to be able to replicate what this guy is capable of. Why do I bring all this to bear? Don't take for granted the immense, incredible good fortune that we have with Donald Trump in office right now because he's not perfection. I think there is an element out there, and I think the Epstein case is a part of it, where we have, I think, the greatest 6 months that we have ever seen in my life of a president doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Economy, border, crime. He could not have delivered better than he has. And we have an innate tendency to decide to fixate on the one thing that's not perfect, the two things that aren't exactly what we would have done if we were in that position, and not enjoy and appreciate the good fortune that we actually find ourselves in right now. And I think Democrats, if you go back and look at the origination of why Russiagate happened, it was simply because they couldn't comprehend that Trump was as good of a political thoroughbred as he was. Now, look, I decided, some of you are going to be upset about this. I decided once and for all when Trump took a bullet that I was not going to take him for granted. When he got his ear clipped, I said, I will run through a wall for this guy. I have got his back for this entire term. Doesn't mean he's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean that we're not going to come on this show and sometimes say, boy, I wish he'd done that a little bit different. I wish he'd been less of a bull in a china shop. I wish they had communicated on this issue a little bit better. But I focus a lot on intent. What is the goal? And if your intent is a good place, sometimes you're going to screw things up. And I think sports is another good analogy of this. It's frustrating when a player jumps off sides on third down, but it's an error of trying to do too much. I would rather somebody try to do too much and sometimes screw up than not be able to take aggressive action and not do enough. Trump's errors, if you go look at them, are almost always going to be trying to do too much. He's trying to make too much happen. He's trying to change too much. He's trying to do as much as he possibly can in what is a relatively short period of time. I'm a history nerd. The older I get, the more I sit around and say, boy, a 4-year presidential term is really not very much time. And even 8 years, it's really not very much time. We got Supreme Court justices with lifetime tenure. We got senators that are going to be in office for 40 years. 8 years, any one man, any one president is automatically circumscribed. Trump, if he is guilty of anything right now, is guilty of trying to do too much simultaneously. And I just think, again, be careful in trying to attack someone who is doing so much immense good. Right now, the top attack of Democrats actually originated with Republicans. They're coming after Trump over Epstein, not because the Democrats have been right on Epstein. God forbid, they sat on the files for 4 years. They didn't release anything. They barely even mentioned it. And now they're going to come after Trump, who just got into office 6 months ago over Epstein. Be very, very careful when you are playing into the hands of the people that hate Trump. In the back of your mind, be thinking, the primary Democrat attack now on Trump is related to Epstein. Are their hands clean on this? Have they actually done anything? All they're doing is using right-wing attacks on Trump to actually use and mobilize the left against him. Again, I'm going to take a bunch of your calls. We're going to weigh in, but I just want you to think about that. The origination. Where did Russiagate come from? It came from Trump can't actually have won. It's like Brady when he beat Kurt Warner before we knew how good Tom Brady was. Now, I understand some of you knew that in 16. Some of you had your eyes open in 15 when Trump came down the escalator. Other people came on board different times. Some of you voted Trump 20. Some of you voted Trump 24 in the first time. I think most of you out there listening have come to see his unique political skill and talents. Again, I think he's the greatest Republican president since Reagan. And I think Trump, in his mind, is making a run for the ages. His aspiration is not to be the best since Reagan. I think he wants to be better than Reagan. This guy's ambition is not, as we all know, to be pretty good. It's to be the greatest ever. We'll take your calls, just like Tom Brady, in my opinion, is the greatest quarterback of all time. I want to tell you, trust and will. Look, was just downstairs. My boys are running around like crazy. It is still summer break. I've got a 14-year-old, 10-year-old at home. I got a 17-year-old away at summer camp. Everything that I do by and large on a day-to-day basis is about trying to help make sure that they have a great future life for them. I'm 46 years old. I hope that I got 40 years still to go. I hope that I got 50 years still to go. I hope that it is a very, very long time in the future before my family has to think anything about what might happen to me. But who knows? Hulk Hogan, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, 3 icons all lost their lives this week. Are you prepared if something awful happens in your life? Kids, grandkids, they're fighting, they're squabbling. What if you weren't there to help rectify and keep them from fighting about everything? What if you just want them to know everything that you would want to happen after you die? You spend your whole life trying to take care of your kids and your grandkids. Have you done a trust and a will to make sure that they know exactly what you want when that day comes, when we never have any idea when it's going to come? I understand it's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to talk about, but I have a trust and a will. I took care of it, even though hopefully I've still got decades to go before I have to worry about any of those implications. But if I get in a car and I have an accident tomorrow, my family is set. They're taken care of. I made sure that the trust and will is done. Wife has done the same. Have you? Are you prepared for that day that is inevitable for all of us to make sure that your family is taken care of after you're gone, just like you're trying to take care of them right now? If you aren't, just give a few minutes. It doesn't take very long. Go to trustandwill.com. Again, that website, trustandwill.com. You can get hooked up. You'll get 20% off right now. I understand it's not fun, but it is peace of mind for you to know that you've done everything for your family, for your kids, your grandkids, everybody out there that you care about, to know exactly what you want. Keep them from fighting after you're gone. Trustandwill.com/Clay. 20% off right now. Trusted experts. Trustandwill.com/Clay.